Welcome to Kathryn Raaker's World. Innovation, culture, adventure, fashion and health, artists, destinations, traditions. This is Kathryn Raaker's World.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World. I am so proud to have on today both a producing and recording artist and motivational speaker, David Rush. He's really a busy guy, having worked on projects with Pitbull and even touring with him as his opening act. And also we have Dr. Coleman. And but I just want to say a little bit more about David, Dr. Coleman, and that is that he's not only working, he's not only having, let me say that again. He also has kidney disease, but he's working to educate people about a potentially serious medical condition that caused him to go into kidney failure when he was just in high school. David is joining us now to talk about his career, what it's like living with chronic kidney disease, and the gaps in care in the Black and minority communities. Joining him is nephrologist Dr. Jessica Coleman. And I want to tell you both, and David knows this, that both of my family members died with kidney disease. So it's my family, my aunt, and she finally took herself off of dialysis. She couldn't take it anymore. And my brother, who ended up dying with complications with a heart attack. So I'm welcoming you both to my show. I'm a big supporter of what you are doing, and anything I can do to help, I'll put your logo up on my websites, whatever I can do and my dad had kidney disease, and you know, it runs in my family. So I'm going to start with David. Can you tell my audience about the latest news surrounding your music career to start off with? Go right ahead, David.
Kathryn, so good to hear from you. I know we spoke recently. It's so good to hear from you again on this side of things. As you know, I'm still doing my music, still working with a lot of different artists. You can listen to my music on all streaming platforms now. Just type in David Rush and all different genres will pop up: country, pop, rap, R&B, everything.
And you're going to teach me rap, right? You're going to teach me
I was about to say, I know you're interested in rapping, so we'll talk about that off air again. We already started that conversation as well. And man, just now doing my new world tour, going around trying to educate people about this lifestyle with CKD and trying to live as best they can, and just giving good energy as much as you know already, Doc. You know that already, Kathryn.
Okay, can you tell us about your experience? You know, I know your experience about chronic kidney disease or CKD, but you know, for short, can you tell my audience what it's been like?
Yes, of course. Of course. It started in high school, just a routine checkup to get a physical for football. Ended up turning up, I was diagnosed with acute renal failure, which then turned into full renal failure later on. And I was transplanted 2010. I had one for 7 years from my brother, and then ended up back on dialysis. I'm currently on home dialysis now. It's just been a journey of a lot of surgeries, a lot of ups and downs, but you know, keeping a good mental state, having a great support system, and trying to educate other people to hopefully prevent those things from happening to them has been my life mission from now on. And that's what we're here to talk about today. And I'm grateful to have outlets like you to allow us to do so on their platforms.
Anytime you want to be on my programming, you can be on it. And let me ask you a question. Are you actually going to be able to have a kidney transplant? That's my one question that my audience would like to know probably.
Yes, I did go through some renal cancer things, scare about 1.5 years ago. We're coming up on a time, September this year, I should be eligible again to be able to have a transplant. So looking forward to getting back on the list.
Do it on September 5th.
What'd you say?
That would be a great.
Yes, I remember. Yes, it is your birthday. It's my kid's birthday month as well. So
Oh, good.
that'll be a great birthday gift if I find out. I'll let you know so it could be a birthday gift from me to you.
Okay, so can you tell us what you're doing to educate people about CKD, please?
Well, I partnered up with AstraZeneca, and we're doing unfilteredkidneyconversations.com. You can go there and start to have discussions about, kidney disease, CKD, your stories, bridging the gap between patient and doctor relationships, unfiltered conversations, being able to talk and just go through, and not just go through the motions of what kidney disease is about, but really giving you a place where you can kind of learn and educate others as well at the same time. We've built that up. Unfilteredkidneyconversations.com is a place to start this conversation going on. I think that needs to be had in this world. And, I'm on there, and I want you guys to meet me on there as well.
Well, I think I'm hoping you're going to have some recipes, which, remember, I told you, I used to do cooking shows with the kidneys.
I know, for kidney patients, yes, we will definitely get into cooking shows. You owe me a plate of food. You owe me some food.
Right. You love food. It does make a big difference. But let me talk to Doctor now, if you don't mind. And good morning, Doctor. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today? Thanks for having us.
You're based in low country of Georgia and South Carolina, where I used to live. And
very nice.
Yeah, Beaufort, Hilton Head in Savannah area. And you graduated with honors from Georgia Tech in biochemistry and worked as a chemical engineer prior to attending medical school at Mercer University in Macon, Georgia. So you did your residency and fellowship and at the University of Kentucky in Lexington. That's really close to me, girl. And you've been,
nice.
all right. Keynote speaker at ASN and has traveled nationally to speak. You have a special interest in hyperkalemia, anemia, and helping patients live better with CKD, and board certified in internal medicine and nephrology. Doctor, tell us what has been an impact of CKD, especially among Black Americans. Can you tell me that?
Oh gosh, I'm so happy to. And, I think David's journey really highlights what we can see unfortunately occur where patients can start off asymptomatic or with very mild symptoms. And then all of a sudden on just kind of a routine health exam, all of a sudden receive really tragic and intimidating, scary news, right? And so you hear kidney disease, and it's really just a life-altering experience. And so one of the things that David and I are trying to do is get that awareness up, get the awareness that this is something that we can certainly work to prevent the progression of chronic kidney disease. And even if not prevent the progression, we can certainly help patients to live better with chronic kidney disease. And one of the things that we do, or one of the ways in which we do that, is we really highlight the disparity that we see in the Black and minority population. Unfortunately, we see that they're 3.5 times more likely to progress to end-stage kidney disease, requiring dialysis or transplantation. And so by addressing that and by getting the conversation started early, we can help folks to live better with chronic kidney disease, and if they should progress, to live better along the way, just like David has, right? His journey is so inspiring. He's bobbed and weaved along the way, never losing his fighting spirit. And that's what we're working to do. So one of the opportunities that we're looking to provide for folks is a discussion guide to really get that ball rolling. This again is such an intimidating subject. If we can start off with better education and a better relationship between the patient and the doctor, we really can see that the relationship going forward is going to be more fruitful. So going to that unfilteredkidneyconversations.com, getting that support from other CKD warriors, getting that discussion guide started so that we can raise the education level. I think that's what both of us are really here to do today.
Well, it's really amazing. Unless you have someone that has kidney disease, do you realize what's going on? And the other thing is that a lot of times, and I may be wrong about this, but a lot of groups are afraid to give their blood, their kidneys, or whatever, and especially in certain communities. And I found And I have actually lost a lot of friends when I worked with David's, the same people that David did. I've lost two of them over the past, 4 or 5 years, including my relatives. And I think that understanding what it's all about, what kidney disease is all about, and we talked about, the other thing is how healthy you are and keeping your diet, which I think is really important. Anytime you guys want to work with me with diet, I actually did a lot of shows and cooking shows for kidney patients because, right, David, that's the most important thing is that they need to eat right. Am I correct?
The diet is very important. And, speaking of those things, man, we can talk about the dieting and everything going on unfilteredkidneyconversations.com. I would like you guys to meet us there. We can continue this conversation there. Yeah. Doc, you get on there, continue this conversation with us, me and Kathryn. We'll all talk on that website, and we'll be there waiting for you there, Kathryn.
You can have the recipes, and you can also have the videos that I did because they turned out to be really good. Actually, one was turkey wings, huge turkey wings. That was a funny, yeah, really.
Oh my God!
It was the biggest turkey wing.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you so much, Kathryn. Thanks for having us on today.
Yeah, give the website out so people can hear it again. Okay.
Unfilteredkidneyconversations.com. Unfilteredkidneyconversations.com. Meet us there. Beat us there. Let's talk about it all there. We appreciate you so much, Kathryn.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Me. And we'll see you.
I'll talk to you soon.
So much. We'll be right back after these important messages on Kathryn Raaker's World. Thank you. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Kathryn Raaker's World, and Let's Just Talk. Chronic pain affects millions, actually, and of American adults. And if you're one of them, the good news is that there has been wonderful advances in the treatment that could help more people dealing with this debilitating condition. Here to explain and share the latest developments in patient care are Dr. Michael Fishman, a double board certified anesthesiologist and interventional pain medicine specialist, Center for the International Pain and Spine, and his patient, Geneva. Welcome to our show today. How are you? I hope not in pain. Right?
Good.
We're doing great. Thanks for having us.
Oh yeah, anytime I can help anybody with this. There's so many people. I had back pain for years, so I definitely know what that's all about. Dr. Fishman, how prevalent is back pain and what are the major causes?
Almost every human adult is going to experience back pain at some point in their life, like you just mentioned. When we start talking about chronic back pain or chronic pain in general, it's pain that's impacting you and interfering with your life on a regular basis for more than 3 months. Now, when we start to think about breaking down what that really means, it means that it really impacts how you function socially, physically, with your family, and can interrupt almost every aspect of your life. Talking about that in the context of the overall population, we're talking about 1 in 5 Americans being impacted and costing over $600 billion a year in direct and indirect costs in this country. So it's a really big problem.
Well, I want to ask your patient, Geneva, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
And can you tell me, what has your experience been like with chronic back pain and when did it start?
Well, Dr. Fishman talks about it being chronic if it lasts over 3 months. I've had pain for over 30 years. It started with some numbness during the night when I would sleep that developed into pain. I couldn't sleep on my left side. I was confined to sleeping just on one side. Waking up in pain, I tried all kinds of things. You modify your daily activities, do things like that. But I tried massage therapy and chiropractic therapy, even injection therapy. over-the-counter medications, prescription medications, and none of them provided any real long-term relief. It always came back, which is, kind of mentally exhausting, spending all that time coordinating doctors and finding doctors, and then to have it come back again in the end is really very defeating.
Wow. And so it started 30 years ago. Do you remember how or why, or just happened?
No, it just started evolving with a certain series of symptoms. And, like I said, some of those therapies would manage it, but it just never went away. They looked at everything, I've had all kinds of tests and different things, to ultimately not be able to make it go away long term.
Right. So it had to affect your life in a lot of different ways, right?
Everyday activities, having to adjust those activities, modifying which side of the street I walk on if it's sloped in a certain way, not being able to, I'd say I'm a terrible sitter because I can't sit for long periods of time. So I'd have to sit on the end if I was with friends or something. The inside seat in a booth was just absolutely impossible. All of those things, just to sitting in a theater or something like that, being on the end so you can get up at periods of time. And the constant, what can I do today, or what can I take today, or do I have to, and preparing to have all that stuff with you whenever you go anywhere, that kind of stuff.
All right. And doctor, can I ask you, what advice can you give for managing chronic back pain? And actually, what are the new treatments that are helping people like Geneva?
Thank you so much. When I think about chronic back pain and I think about the options people have, it really requires a individualized approach. And you've heard from my patient all the different things that she's done over the years to try and address or mitigate her pain, and had partial success or very little success. She was a really good candidate for a new treatment called DTM, spinal cord stimulation, which is an implantable medical device that treats pain at the spinal cord. And this device, which was developed by Medtronic, and we're here on behalf of them today, ultimately provides really durable and excellent relief for patients who are candidates for that. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's a candidate for it, but if you are, it's certainly worth a try, and talk with your doctor about understanding what your different options are and what the consequences of those options are. Sometimes pain is really a area where the art of medicine still very much holds up. That is, the concept of using more than one treatment at the same time to provide synergy and help improve the patient experience is really the state of the art. And understanding those different options is why you should seek the care of an informed specialist.
Let me ask you, is it implanted into the patient?
Yes, it is. So after a trial phase of a few days of being able to live with a temporary device that looks kind of like a piece of spaghetti, patients do ultimately have the opportunity to go on to a permanent implant, which is a device about the size of a matchbook and connects to two wires that look like pieces of long spaghetti.
So the next question is actually for Geneva. And Geneva, how has this personalized treatment option helped you? And now you don't have to worry about things as much as you had to before, am I correct?
Yeah, very much so, yes. I'm able to sleep better. I don't wake up in pain. I don't wake up in the night in pain. So that certainly sets up your day to be much better without having to do all that. I'm able to not take even the over-counter medication like I was before. I don't have to plan for things. I was just able to, travel with my family, to sit for longer periods of time, and even just here recently, not have to worry about the seat that I sit in for dinner, all those things, like looking forward to doing things like going to the movies with my family, and all those everyday things that I don't need to worry so much about planning ahead for.
And Dr. Fishman, thank you so much. And Dr. Fishman, where can we go to find out more information? Because I think it's so important to give our audience that are suffering like Geneva did, hope and options for the future.
I really believe that the informed patient is the patient who's in the best position to benefit from a discussion with their doctor about their treatment options. And so to learn more, you can go to medtronic.com/chronic pain and talk to your doctor about the available options for your particular case.
I want to thank you both for what you're doing for people, because I think it's so important that people get those different options. Thank you for joining me on Kathryn Raaker's Let's Just Talk in Kathryn Raaker's World. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Kathryn Raaker's World. You know, May is Hepatitis Awareness Month, and today we're speaking with HepC survivor and advocate for the community, and that's Karen. In 2010, Karen learned that her liver was failing, and she was later diagnosed with the hepatitis C virus. Fortunately, she made a full recovery, and today she's all about helping others. Karen joins us now to discuss what is HepC, why screening is so important, and why everyone deserves to and can be free of HepC. I want to welcome you to our show today, Karen. How are you?
Thank you so much, Kathryn. I'm great. Thank you.
You know, what is hepatitis C for our audience, and what are the symptoms? And you learned that you had it in 2010, correct?
Yes. Well, hepatitis C virus, it's a viral infection in the bloodstream, and it targets the liver. And so it can, left unchecked over time, it can create major health problems leading up to and including cirrhosis of the liver.
Wow.
And
what
yes.
are the symptoms? What are the symptoms, Karen?
Well, this is the sad part. There are no symptoms. So I lived with hepatitis C for probably more than 2 decades and didn't know about it until my liver totally failed. Yes, it's a silent disease. Wow. So that's one of the reasons I'm happy to be here today for hepatitis C awareness. There's 2.3 million people in the United States with hepatitis C, and 40% of them don't even know it. So that's made it a major health issue for Americans.
Can you catch it easily?
You know, it's not transmitted easily. It's transmitted through the bloodstream. Formerly, it was common in medical procedures such as blood transfusions. And while that's a thing of the past, it still can happen. Mostly it's transmitted occasionally through a tattooing process if there wasn't, stringent sanitation. It can also be passed through IV drug use. And so there are a variety of ways that it can be transmitted, yes.
Well, and how do you feel? How did you discover you had Hep C?
Well, I was cycling on the Arkansas River, so I was somewhat of an athlete, and I was cycling one evening, and when I got home that night, my feet swelled double. And the next morning, I'm a teacher. The next morning, I had to go in and report to get ready for back to school, and I literally couldn't get my clothes on. And I looked in the mirror, and my eyes were yellow, and my skin was yellow. And by the end of the day, I was in the hospital getting a blood transfusion. And they said, you have end-stage cirrhosis of the liver. And I was like, wait, you don't know me. There's no way. But it turned out that I did have the hepatitis C virus.
Now, how long were you?
That's one of the reasons I'm here.
Oh, that's right. So how long were you in the hospital, and how long did it take for you to recover, Karen?
Well, during that particular stay, it was about a 4-day stay. A lot of blood transfusions. My liver had failed and my kidneys were failing. And so that was a 4-day stay. And then they sent me home basically to die. But I rallied, and I was able to start the treatment then within about 9 months. And that's why I'm here to partner with AbbVie today, to let people know that even if they do have a traumatic diagnosis, that there is a treatment, there's an easy test, and that there is a cure. There's very few viruses really that have a cure. This one doesn't run its course. You do have to take a treatment, but there is a cure. That's the good news.
So what are some of the major challenges that are facing people today with getting tested and treated?
I think one of the major challenges is that people don't know they have it. So the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, at first they came out a few years ago and said, all baby boomers, this seems to be a baby boomer virus, and so we should all be tested. And that was great, but then they began to discover everyone should be tested. So they're suggesting everyone 18 and over should have that one-time test for the hepatitis C virus.
Right. And, this is Hepatitis Awareness Month. And how can people learn more about hepatitis, Hep C?
That's a great question. And so one resource that you can go to is HepC.com. And that one resource will lead you to many others. You can talk to your doctor, but it'll give you recommendations for doctors, give you some ideas about how to deal with it within your own life, because it can affect the whole family. And so it's a great resource for individuals and families to go to get more information about hepatitis C.
That's wonderful. And would you give that website one more time, Karen? We'd really appreciate it.
Thank you. And it's HepC.com.
And thank you for your mission to help people about hepatitis C and why everyone should be tested to find out if you had it sometime in the past or now in the future. And you don't want to go through what a lot of other people have gone through and yourself, right? So thank you so much.
That's right. Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining me on Kathryn Raaker's World. And we'll be right back after these important messages. Thank you.